Welcome to Learn with Spy. In this video, we are going to see the file system and the characteristics of database management system. And we also going to know about why database management system is more efficient than file system. So, as we're going to see in the file system, the word consists of file. Let's define the word file. The file is a collection of information is called file. We also have other definition for the file. The sequence of bytes stored on a computer memory called as file. It stores the information in the form of records. For example, magnetic disk, magnetic tapes, and optical disks. Let's see what is meant by file system. The software that is used to store large files is known as file system. Here, the files are stored in an hierarchical structure on the computer memory. It is a part of operating system. Example, FAT32, NFS, NTFS, and Cobra. And we also have few more examples. In the file system, each file is independent of other. That means file does not share information among them. So each file was called as flat file. These files are designed by using application programs as we use in our daily life C, C++, Java, and etc. Now, let's see the structure of file system. Consider a secondary memory or disk. So, here the disk is connected to the file system. The file system is connected to the disk. So, it is a two-way connection. And the file system is connected to few applications as consider the application 1, application 2, and so on. We have number of applications, n number of applications. These are connected to the file systems individually, and these applications are separately used by the users. User 1 is using the application 1, and user 2 is using another application, and user n is using another application. So these applications are used by the users. So this is the basic structure of file system. In the traditional file system, we have few disadvantages. The first one is data redundancy. Data redundancy is nothing but same data is stored in multiple files is known as data redundancy. Here, the files are independent to each other. They do not share information among themselves. So, storing the same data in multiple files will make the memory usage high. For example, college student information was stored in administration file, department file, and library file, and so on. The second one is data inconsistency. Here, the data redundancy may lead to data inconsistency. Let us assume the same data is repeated in two or more files. If the changes are made in first file, it is required that the changes are should made in other file too. It will lead multiple different values for same data. So this situation is called as data inconsistency. The third one is data dependency. In the file system, the data was dependent on the application program. Here, application program is nothing but Notepad or Visual Studio Codes or Notepad++. So, as we're gonna see, the extension of .txt, Notepad will accept only .txt files. That means text files, as .html files, which accept only HTML code, and .css files, which accepts only CSS. So, if we want to change any of them, we have to change the application program too. The fourth one is data security. The data which is maintained in the flat file can be easily accessed by any user. So the data will be not secured and can be stolen by others. Let us take an example of customer transactions. In the transaction file, it contains of total availability balance of the customer and the transaction list. So generally, a customer wants an information about his or her account balance. In a file system, it is difficult to give the customer access to only his or her data in the file. So this may lead to data security problem. The fifth one is data isolation. Data isolation means that all the data is not available in one file. Generally, data is scattered in various files, may be in different formats. Therefore, writing new application program to retrieve the appropriate data. The sixth one is concurrent data access anomaly. Many systems allows multiple users to update the data simultaneously. In such environment, interaction of concurrent updates may result in inconsistency of data. For example, if the person A containing a bank account of rupees 6,000, if true transactions of withdrawal funds 500 and 1000 rupees respectively from account about same time, result of concurrent execution may leave the account in any incorrect state. Now let's see the characteristics of database management system. In order to remove above disadvantages of flat file approach, we need a new approach which is more effective than flat file. So the database approach is introduced. The characteristics of database approach are self-describing nature of database, separation of data from application program, providing concurrent access of data, supporting multiple use of data, data abstraction. The first one is self-describing nature of database. The database system containing not only the description of data or structure or constraints, it also contains the type of the data, size of the data, and constraints of each column is known as metadata. Metadata is nothing but data about the data is known as metadata. This information is used by the DBMS software or database user if needed. The second one is separation of data from application program. As we seen in the file system, if we want to change any data in the file, we need to change the application program too. But in the DBMS software, we don't need to change all the application program. We just need to change the data which we want. So this may avoid the data dependency in the flat file system. So the third one is providing concurrent access to the data. Here, the data can be used by multiple users. So we have to provide the database at the same time for multiple users. As a result, the multiple user DBMS must have concurrent control strategies. So to ensure that several users access to the same data item at same time, and to do so in manner that the data will always be correct and integrity. The fourth one is support multiple view of data. A database typically have many users. So each user may have different perspective or view of database. The database system provides different view of different users requirements. So here the database is provided on based on the viewer's perspective and their requirement. So the last one is data abstraction. Data abstraction is the process of hiding details is known as data abstraction. In the database approach, hides metadata details from original data. Now, let's see the structure of database management system. Consider a secondary storage or disk storage. The disk storage is connected to the file system, and the file system is connected to the database management system (DBMS). So, here the file system and database management system are connected in each other. And the database management system is connected to the multiple applications considered as application 1, application 2, and so on, application N. These applications are connected to the database management system, and these applications can be used by any number of users. So user 1 can use application 1, user 2 can use application 2, and user n can use application n. User 1 can use application 1 and also can use application 2 and application 3 too. So this is the basic structure of database management system. As compared to the file system approach, we have few best advantages of database management system. So the first one is minimum data redundancy. In database approach, each data item is stored in one place. In some cases, redundancy still exists. So to improve system performance, but such redundancy is controlled and kept in minimum. The second one is data consistency. The process of maintaining information of database in an uniform manner. Here, this will overcome the data inconsistency of the flat file approach. The third one is restricting unauthorized access or data security. In the database system, not all the users of the system have the same accessing privileges. So, here the DBMS should provide a security subsystem to create and control the user accounts. The fourth one is data independency. In the database management system, the database description or metadata was separated from the application program. So there is no dependency of data and the application program. The fifth one is support multiple view of data. A view may be subset of database. So in the database management system, we have different types of users and the user may have different type of views. So the user can have different type of view perspectives. So based on the user perspective, the database management system will provide the data. The sixth one is providing backup and recovery facility. If the computer system fails in the middle of complex update process, the recovery subsystem is responsible for making sure that the database is restored to the stage it was before the process start executing. So the seventh advantage is support concurrent access. Here, the database management system has multiple users. So each and every user can access same data at same time. So here in database management system, it have concurrent control strategies. By this, the multiple users can access same data at same time. The last advantage of database management system is data abstraction. Data abstraction is nothing but the process of holding the details is known as data abstraction. This approach hides the metadata details from original data. Thank you for watching us.